folks, we have some updates for you this week at the SUMO community meeting. So today is August 1st. Remember, if there's anything that is due today, it is the new start of the month. August, one of the hottest or coldest parts of the year. If you were paying attention to astrological events last Friday, we had a lunar eclipse in some parts of the world. The moon looked totally red. If you are curious about checking that out, it's where humans come together and recollect on things that bring everyone together. And it is live streamed. It was I think live streamed on Facebook and a couple of websites. It was pretty interesting to see. So if you're looking for some inspiration, rewatch that, the lunar eclipse that happened on the 27th.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's something cool to check out, especially if you just need a break from a screen. If you need a break from a screen, don't watch it. But if you need a break from scrolling up and down, you can watch the moon go through this very slowly from left to right to give your eyes some dynamic 360 motions. Okay, so I'm going to add the agenda to the IRC channel. We can add your updates. So we did have a call for updates probably about 10 minutes ago, but I will make sure to refresh it. Okay, so for all of you coming in last minute, please feel free to join us, add those updates. We will update and have some fun. So I'm copying and pasting it into the IRC channel right now. Okay, you do need a Wiki account to add updates here. Pretty easy, it's just one email verification, and if not, feel free to say hello on IRC. We can add you to the participations list in the agenda here. So far, hello, Chris, thank you for joining us. And Roland and Nihal, thank you for joining us live. We do have a live IRC web-based chat in #sumo. If you're curious how to connect to that, irc.mozilla.org. We have, I believe the port is 668. We double check, or 338. I'm having a little bit of a slow connection, so I will look that up later. But there is a handy-dandy link in the agenda that is also listed down in this YouTube video live streaming. So thank you so much for joining us. We do not have the actions from last week, but we do have some product updates from yours truly. Roland, over to you.
Yes, I have to leave in 9 minutes, but yes, we will be trying to do a more formalized report for Firefox 62 desktop to product management and product marketing and engineering. And I've started a thread in the contributor forum as I promised last week. Basically, I've asked them already, and they said top 10 issues, possibly sorted by the top 10 language locales or broken down in maybe some sort of Google Analytics report. But if you have any ideas on what we should be reporting on for every desktop release, we're only talking about desktop at the moment, that would be great. Please chime in on the thread. That's about it. I mean, we're working on Firefox 62 articles, I guess. Joni is, and it's quiet. It's summer. Nothing more to report.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roland, for those updates. So yeah, guys, gals, them add your thoughts to those report dashboards and report threads. We will be adding the Twitter questions as well there. So those of you
yes, yeah, top 10 includes Twitter and yeah, all our channels that we do in SUMO.
All of you, even if it's a top community issue, add it. I want to know. Over to contributors of the week. We don't have any. Oh, hold on a second. We have some cool news coming in. What is that? Oh yeah, MozFest proposals. So those were due a couple days ago. So check out the GitHub to see what awesome things are in the running for MozFest. MozFest is a big event that happens once a year in the United Kingdom, where many open source projects come together to share their new open source projects. There's a lot of workshops, to introduce different ways to get involved in the open source community. And there's some really cool workshops for both younger ages and older ages. But it does have a ticket price. So if you are curious about that, I will add a link to the wiki. But just search for MozFest and you will see the 2018 URL here. So MozFest 2018. If you are going, we love to hear pictures, photos, all the things that you experienced there. The community, Mozillian community loves to hear about it. So the dates for that are going to be October 26th to the 28th. It's over the weekend, and it's always a lot of fun. If you are curious to see past events, a couple of the UK uh, had and Saburo are people you're going to want to ask if you're curious about going and who have been to previous events.
Yes, excellent. Saburo's an excellent resource, excellent person.
Absolutely. He's gone to so many events. Pretty cool. That is a blog and reflection on some of those, so expect some of those updates coming from SF All Hands. Uh, preview. I didn't say that. Okay, so platform update. We have no platform updates, but we do have some nominated contributors of the week. I'm going to refresh here just in case any snuck in. Okay, so I nominated Wesley Branton and Christoph from the one-on-one support channels for being active and helpful. I saw some activity from Wesley this week, being really helpful in both the forums and one-to-one support. Thank you. It's awesome to see you active again. And Christoph, I already pinged you individually for the social support, but you got some really nice thank yous in the Twitter FX help channels. So keep it up. You are well thanked, and thank you for your quality answers. Okay, moving on to knowledge base. Over to you, Hall.
Thank you, Rachel. So we have some news. First of all, it's the 1st of August, if you haven't noticed. So we have stats, we have numbers for July for the KB changes, for the revisions and the site traffic and the popularity of different languages and countries up in the spreadsheet, in the usual spreadsheet. It still seems we're kind of, compared to last year, same month, we're kind of below, like we lost quite a few users, it seems, or not users, sorry, site views or page views on the site. So that's an interesting thing to know. Or maybe just Google Analytics recalibrated their script and suddenly we're seeing things actually the way they are. Anyway, not that many changes in general when it comes to popularity of things. I'm super happy to see a bounce kind of in a definite uptick in the monthly contributions. So we have the French people, we have the Greeks, we have the Portuguese bouncing back, we have the Hungarians jumping in, and the Czechs. Basically, quite a few communities jumping in. So it seems June was kind of this month where people, you know, took some time off, took it easy, and now they actually have the time to get back and help us out, which is amazing. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for your continued support of users worldwide with your translation and localization talents. That's the first piece of news for Eltenan. The second thing is last Friday, I believe, the Eltenan post went up on the SUMO blog. I'm going to still send some reminders about it after this meeting regarding, regarding sending it to Discourse and our community forums on Kitsune, just to make sure that people have a chance to read it if they haven't yet. And generally, it was focusing on a bunch of different things regarding Eltenan in the second half of the year. So all the details are there. I'm not going to bore you right now. Just feel free to read through it, and you can ask questions in all the usual places. There was one question popping up straight away because there's the pocket content move mentioned in that post. So in general, we have it planned, or it's kind of scheduled to happen after September this year, so in the last quarter of the year, but we don't have any details just yet. So it'll have to wait for the site refresh, I guess, and other things. So when the site is looking nice and new, visually, then we're probably going to be moving the Pocket content, and it will be open for localization. And there is already some localized content in Pocket support in general, but yeah, we'll talk about it later when it's closer to September, October, and so on. Speaking of content, Roland already mentioned this. Joni's working on 62 content and on updates to existing articles as well. And I'm super happy to announce or to just highlight the fact that today we're kicking off a month-long sprint for the top 20 articles in the following 7 locales. So we have Arabic, Bengali, Bosnian, Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, and Telugu. I think I haven't skipped anybody. And yeah, the folks from those communities who stepped up, I'm going to be talking more about them throughout the month because they have been really nice and responsive. We'll see how things roll after the first week. There are some community meetings happening in the next 7 or so days in different places around the world where this will be brought up to the community members. So we'll see if there's chance for people to work together on some articles to get the top 20 content localized and refreshed for those locales. And one final thing, there's the Mozilla LTN or localization roundtable tomorrow. It's an open meeting, so it's a call on video, not too long, 30 minutes, where we share experiences, we coordinate efforts around initiatives regarding localization. We talk about the issues we're facing. Basically, it's fairly fresh as a concept and as a meeting, so it's open to everybody. If you're interested in coming over, let me know. It's happening more or less at the same time that this meeting is happening. It's just tomorrow. So yeah, you can see the agenda if you click the link on the wiki page where we have the notes, and that's it. Are there any questions or concerns? I'm looking at IRC. Nope. So I think for me, hand it over to update.
Hey there. So it looks like we have a couple of airmo issues where it's not accessible for people who are not able to set up two-factor authentication. We will look into that. I believe it might be limited to NDA. So if you're an NDA on the Mozillians profile, it does require to have some sort of two-factor authentication. We will look into that. I do know we're also streaming on YouTube, so check out the actual Mozilla YouTube channel and see if there's any live videos there. If not, we'll troubleshoot that and make sure that that's working for you next week. Tanya, sorry about that. The other feedback that we are getting here is that we missed someone from nominations for Contributors of the Week. So I'm just gonna put this in right now, Yuli from the social support team. Thank you so much for helping out with the newsletter this month. The HTML and JET look amazing. So if you missed that, there is a link to the newsletter from last week. Yuli, thank you so much for your help. Onto the support forum. We have some absolutely amazing and exciting discussions. If you are one to like to help discuss leadership and policy around community management, please check out the multiple accounts and the Do We Mark Solutions thread. So these two threads have been ongoing for the last couple weeks. We hope to try to conclude some decisions and action items for them at the end of this week. So check those out. There are some, so I'm going to actually give you the link to the YouTube in IRC, and I'm moving it all over the place, but that's okay, we're just bouncing around. That is the YouTube link. I can't spell YouTube. YouTube is one word. There you go. So the next action items that I am going to share with you have something to do with the support forums, which, I need a tab limiter, guys. I have more than 200 tabs open, and it's too many. But just multiple discussions, forum rules and guidelines. It's really important that we try to keep it safe. um, for existing contributors as well as new contributors. So just think about some of the um, concerns that you might have about having multiple accounts, where other communities may find trolls or sock puppets or some of the online cultural threads. We love your input if you have experience in other communities around those policies, and then marking solutions as a question. I know in the past that there have been the only people who can mark the solution are moderators, admins, or the question owner. So check out that discussion. It's really interesting. Thank you for all your help in the questions for the Firefox troubleshooting forum. So if you are finding yourself looking to collaborate with some gurus, post a question in this forum. This is going to be the place where people will ask for more help, collaborate on some issues, talk about whether or not something is trending. So jump in the bullpit and ask your questions there. A few changes were made to the Introduce Yourself forum to point users to the Buddies forum, the AKA the new it's labeled New Contributor forum. We locked the Introduce Yourself thread, and it links to create a new post in the new contributors thread to try to send more people into that forum. So if you are watching this and you are interested in making your first contribution and we haven't bored you yet, please do say hello. We do have an action item for you and help needed later in this video. So top viewed questions this week. Are you curious? So long-standing top viewed questions don't change very much. So these are going to be your offline installers, Windows 32-bit, where or when can Firefox work with the Chromecast. So these are the top 3 questions that actually get some of the most hits from Google search engines. But what's interesting is that within the last 6 months, changes have been made where we've seen changes of top questions. Actually, Firefox using too much RAM, or common updates. So around updates, that will change a little bit. So we're going to try to ask that we update the common responses for how to minimize Firefox RAM usage, as well as look into some of the security and video issues that you might see. So there's two other common issues that come up when major websites that stream video change stuff around security, SSL certificates, or codec support. So right now, I believe Firefox has HTML5 built in, but there are some codecs that are supported and not, and there's some websites that try to detect Flash in your browser still, but we are slowly phasing out Flash. So anyways, if you see those codes, error codes pop up, post about it in the Firefox troubleshooting forum or the general SUMO discussions forum, and we will start talking about those top viewed questions or top SUMO issues to help out with that thread that Roland posted earlier in our meeting around product updates. So check that out if you want to talk about it before talking about it. The Firefox troubleshooting forum is a good place to do that. Okay, on the social server. So there's some really cool tidbits for you. I see some of you are collaborating by sending notes to each other. So I get these sometimes where someone will assign me a conversation with a note. So these don't actually get published, but it's a really cool way to collaborate with one another if you're in different time zones or the particular expert or person you're looking for is not online in the Telegram chat or the Army of Awesome IRC group or the Slack channel group, which are all bridged, so you're not missing out on any messages, but we need to go trifecta conversation. So if you don't see people in there, this is a great way, if you're in the buffer tool, to send notes to each other. Basically, you add a note and assign it to the person you want to send it to. If you would like to know what an example of that looks like, check out that link. Another interesting is that Something that's also interesting is that people are adding feedback to Firefox. Hold on. So, in Twitter, there's a lot of sentiment for Firefox users. Not as much as Facebook, but there is a lot of sentiment. If you have had a positive interaction with a Firefox user or a Mozilla support thread, um, let us know. Submit it. We want to add this to next social support email so you can all share in the happy happy returning users for Firefox. Also, there's a new comment. So recently there were more a number of people that used. I think it was pop-up blocker for Firefox and so we went into questions around that and over the weekend. There is a common response for you. Your add-on blank is currently unavailable. Here is an alternative. To learn more about add-on blocklisting and stability to keep Firefox stable and secure, please see this article. So thank you, Jody, so much for your help with getting that article out. And that is, I believe, less than 280 characters. So that is Twitter friendly. Okay, on to help needed. I'm going to check out if there's any questions in IRC real quick. Nope, just that YouTube link. Okay, great. So we need your help. I noticed that contributor forums are pretty great places to meet one another and collaborate. So what I've seen in questions sometimes is that people will post a question, but it's solely information about what they learned about Firefox. So if you are looking for a way to contribute, but haven't quite found the knowledge to share in a question of another person, I would like to encourage you to share your favorite part about Firefox or what you learned about Firefox this week in the new contributor forum threads. This is a great conversation starter for meeting new people in the community, a great conversation starter for people like you that don't know that they're experts yet in Firefox because they use it on a daily basis, but some ways to talk to one another about that. So, great! That's all I had. I'm going to move on to, are there any questions or updates? I'm going to refresh the wiki one more time. This is the network. The network is slow on my side. I'm sorry about that. And 2 more seconds of loading. Okay, that's it. So, if you have any other questions, concerns, jokes, you know where to find us online. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you next week or tomorrow at that meeting that Nihal was talking about. Check out that meeting.
Please do.
Thanks, folks. Bye.